Happy New Year, everybody. Well, we can say Happy New Decade. That was fun. I know that plenty of you guys took a look at the last decade, and probably you realize how quickly 10 years can go by. And I am glad because if you think about it, the decade between 1999 and 2009 didn't have social media. So when you think about it, that's a good thing that social media has done is increasing awareness for the mindful lifestyle. And what I mean with that is that now more than ever, there's more people that they realize that there's got to be something else as far as the formula to live a happy life, the formula for success. Most of us grew up thinking that that formula was in a certain path. We didn't have access to internet. We didn't have access to social media whatsoever. So because of that, I feel very excited about the tools that we have to create with intentionality the path, the blueprint of our lives. We have control and we have choices. And today, it's day number one of 2020, and I'm more than happy to show you my secret and my formula to design my life. First of all, what you need to complete this class is number one, is having the best of the intentions with an open mind. Number two, I'm going to put you to watch this video 2 times. The first time, I want you to just watch it and listen and just get ideas and then leave your mind to kind of soak the information and pay attention to the words that come to you that night or the ideas that will come to you that evening after you watch this video. And you will kind of notice and understand better what I mean when you watch the video. And then the third part of it is that when you watch it again, you will be doing your own vision board, okay? So that's essentially what you need to succeed with this secret. I'm going to tell you something personal. For the last 6 or 7 years, I have been doing vision boards. And the more I do them, actually, I thought that I had the whole process completely mastered. But this year, when I pay attention to my last 5 years, I noticed that the more I do my vision board and the more I compare to the goals that I set up with my vision, I realized that I am missing a couple of ingredients. So I know that I have done vision board videos before, but this one is special, it's different, and it has the new strategies that I am going to be implementing in 2020 and moving forward. And of course, if you're watching this video and it's 2021, 2022, well, until further notice, this is going to be the strategy that I'm going to follow for the process of designing my goals and my vision and living the life very, very, very intentional. So I am going to be sharing my screen. And because I'm recording this training on a computer, I then use one program to create this vision board. But please, 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 simplicity is the mother of your happiness. So I don't want you to think that if you don't know how am I doing things so quickly on the computer, that then you cannot do your own vision board. Please do not. I'm going to be sharing also what tools you can use. And the most basic one, honestly, guys, it's going to be the paper and pen and your imagination. Okay, so let's get started. This is essentially one vision board that I am doing using Google spreadsheets or Google presentation. Hold on one second. So you go to your drive, you hit here, new, Google Slides, that's the word. So hit new, Google Slide, and of course I prepared these squares thingy with colors for the sake of saving time for this video. But you will have to do this, Google Slides are gonna come blank from scratch. You might want to use a layout that is different than the presentation layout, and that's gonna just kind of simplify the process. Okay, so let's go into the theory of a vision board, because I know that there's a lot of misinformation out there, and this is kind of the way that I have been able to understand the difference between big dreams, then vision, then goals, and then resolutions. Okay, so let's start with defining the difference between a dream and a vision and a goal. Okay, three concepts. When you hear people that tell you that you should live a life in which you are fulfilling your big dreams and not anybody else's dreams, what they mean is that you have to sometimes go backwards and think about, wait, if I have all the resources in the world and all the time in the world and all the money, and I don't have the circumstances that I have right now, how would I live? How do I want my time to be spent the most? What's the kind of people that I want to be surrounding myself? What are the kind of things I want to do? So when you usually ask yourself those questions, your answers are going to be essentially part of your dream. Some people say, well, if I didn't have to work, I probably would be traveling the world. Or some people would say, I don't see myself ever not working. However, I would like to work differently. I would like to work with these kind of people, or I would love to impact more people with my work. And depending on the situation where you are right now and the path where you are right now in your life and the chapter, your vision will kind of get you to a place where you will say, wait, I have this vision and I have these big dreams that are kind of impossible. But that would never happen. That's not for me. That's where you can see the difference between the dream and the vision. Typically, big dreams are going to be perceived by your brain as impossible. Okay, so I want you to dream big. However, for the sake of our vision is what we can see in front of us. Okay, this is why it's really productive when you share this information with somebody else, because typically we kind of had blind spots, and sometimes we don't see things that other people see for us, and therefore our vision is limited. Regardless of if we do this alone or we're getting the feedback from somebody else, the vision is what your mind can see, and probably it's going to be based on what you have seen being done or what you have heard about it. At the same time, it is long term. It is something that you're not going to complete in the next 90 days or in the next even 12 months. I want that when you do that vision that considers what you have plus what you can get or learn or receive, in other words, grow yourself, where is it that you see yourself once you grow? And here's why we want to create this vision board with opportunities to grow. The reason is because if you do this yearly, year after year, you will realize that you're going to be growing and growing and growing. One thing that we need to understand is that probably you have heard that we are not going to be able to get more things than the stretches that we do to grow ourselves. So in order to receive more, we have to become more. And in this context is that we are going to prepare this vision. So it's becoming. What is the version of yourself? What is it that you're going to become? What is the person that you need to become in order to get yourself closer to that big dream? Okay, because there's a good chance that your big dream is not going to happen until 10 years. There's a good chance that you think that your big dreams are going to happen in a certain way, but then there's another blessing that is coming. So because of that, vision is the only thing that we can control, is the intention of who do you want to become in order to achieve a closer step or get closer to your big dreams. Okay, now goals have to do with the different steps that we need to take to get closer to becoming that person that we are saying that we need to become in order to live the life that we visualize. Okay, so the vision board will have the goals, will have the achievements, and I suggest that we divide these goals in 4 categories. There's many other versions to do this, but I have found this to be the most accurate, simple, and easy to remember moving forward. Okay, so it's almost like if we want to become ourselves, you know, a new version of ourselves, and if we want to divide our life in 4 categories. Pay attention to something. The categories that I'm going to mention are going to matter, and the specific order that I am going to mention is going to matter, because this is following the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, okay? That says, if I am not having my basic and essential needs met, my mind cannot really think about donating. If I am not knowing how I'm going to pay the rent, I cannot even think about my self-care, right? So when your mind is in survival mode, your thoughts are going to be pretty much like pulled by the needs that you have. So as we are covering those needs, we are then progressing into achieving all their goals, okay? I don't want you to think that you have to kind of tackle the goals in a specific order, because it's very unrealistic. There's a good chance that we can put together a plan that is going to help you achieving these goals as quick as possible. But at the same time, I want you to consider that if there are particular goals that have to do with your basic needs, typically those basic needs will have to be tackled first in order for you to be progressing in your life. So what do I mean when we consider, for example, personal health and wellness goals? Well, you know, this has to do with who do you want to become? Do you want to become a fitness person? Do you want to become an active person? Well, go and dig into the details as much as possible. That active living, like, are you going to be running? Maybe you say yes. So I want you to just use the Google images here, and this is just super fun and easy. So runner or running woman, okay? So let's say, wow, you know, I want to have active living in my vision for 2020, because I definitely see myself active and I want to be, you know, a runner. Okay, perfect. Now, what else is going to be here in this category? So we come here, insert, we search the web, images. Well, as I say, right, this is going to be as more detailed as possible. Well, as part of this, I'm going to need, you know, for example, probably to have a great meal plan. Okay, so meal planning. Okay, let's see what we have. Oh, perfect. So I'm going to be just really planning my meals much better this year. I'm going to be reading, learning, and all of that. Okay, so keep going, insert images, search the web. Okay, so if I'm going to be running, I'm going to be having meal plan, and I'm going to have, like, you know, like a runner's club. Oh, maybe, right? Okay, so runner's club, because you need accountability to reach that goal. Okay, so maybe it's going to be something like this. And I selected 2 pretty much by accident, but you can just come here and delete them and all of that. So I'm going to come here again, insert image, search the web. So Runners Club. Okay, let's see. Runners Club. Okay, I think this one is cool. Let me insert. Okay, perfect. Okay, so that's my active living. Part of my physical goals is that I need to sleep more, right? So if that's the case, you know, sleeping woman. So I'm going to come here. Oh, this looks good. Okay, I'm going to be sleeping in my comfy white blankets. Again, these might be silly, but you will be surprised with the many things that can happen when you put the images with very, very, specific details. Insert image again. So let's say, well, I'm here, my personal goal, I want to arrive early at the places and be organized. Okay, so organize closet in colors. Okay, perfect. So this is super nice. So I want to be more organized. Okay, perfect. If there's anything that you want to quit, one important thing is that this is in a vision that is progressive and is positive, is in the affirmation mode. So I don't want you to say, I'm quitting smoking, because it's still going to have smoking. So if you are going to quit something, I want you to think about the version of yourself that already quit, okay? So if you're quitting smoking, that means that you're not being triggered by moments and by the cigarettes and all that. So what else are you going to do? Well, maybe you will do like more reading. So reading, book, woman. Just use the keywords. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to be reading more and getting more into the habit of understanding better my addictions, and so I can just conquer them better. Okay, perfect. Come here, stretch this, and boom. This can be moved here. Okay, perfect. Okay, I'm gonna have more sex. Okay, perfect. Yes. So I'm gonna put it here too. Insert image, by search the web. Okay, couple calling room. Oh, this is good. This is good. Okay, like more, sex life. Okay, perfect. So I can do this, and I can actually come here, insert, another text box, and just write here, boom, boom, boom. I'm going to carry this, and we'll put it here. Okay, so I think with this you get my point, right? Now let's go to the other one: spiritual, self-care, and relationships. For the sake of saving time, I'm going to write the different things that I have seen people putting in this category. Definitely self-care with as many details as possible. Well, going out on a date, once a week. Spending time with kids, okay? But how does that look like, spending time with kids? Okay, so taking them out to the movies at least once a month, okay? That's another example. Of course, and that will be applicable if you have a kiddo. Let me just put this on a bullet list so it's easier for you to follow me. Okay. Let me use this. Okay, perfect. Let's say self-care, spiritual goal, meditation, with details. Yoga, massage, facial. Think about the things that will help you getting that creative time on. Are you going to write a book? So writing, journaling, visiting family, connecting with X, Y, or Z person. Very, very important that, again, that you're going to just visualize with as many details as possible and get the images right here, okay? Now, once you will notice that in your life, Once you have the personal, the spiritual, you're going to feel happier. You're going to feel, much more fulfilled. One of the things that I include here in the self-care is definitely like watch, more happy shows on Netflix. Have more time just to don't do anything, right? So quiet time, or attend to a retreat 2 times this year. Okay, by the way, I'm hosting one. So that's just those are just examples of spiritual self-care and relationships. Now let's talk about then finances, productivity, assets, and building wealth. Okay, I'm not going to be entering into details of your personal finances, but obviously your personal finances. So pay attention to, don't use negative words. Let's say if you want to pay debt, the word debt is not going to be there, but you're going to have a number. So if you need, in order to pay off your debt and to save and put some money, into investments, you need to produce this year $300,000. Well, that's the number that I want to see here. And you can search images and you can find that, or you can find images by just searching the keyword wealth, and there's a lot of images around that. Now, here's the thing. Money is not going to come from heaven, and I'm sorry for the background noise. Money is not going to come from heaven. Money is going to come from you becoming that person that is more productive, that it's more intentional. Sorry, I have to ask them to be quiet. Money, it's going to come from you being more productive. So how does that look like? Do you have to maybe travel more? Do you have to be better at speaking? Do you have to be a better salesperson? Do you have to be a better communicator? Do you have to be a better manager, a better leader? I want to visualize the you in the space of your career, and use the words that are related to your career, and use, for example, like, do you need a partnership that will happen and so that you can go to the next level? Do you need some sort of like an arrangement? Do you need some sort of resources that are going to put your career life in another level? This is the area where that is going to be declared as part as your vision. One example that I can give you of something that definitely for me was a no-no, and I needed to correct that into my vision, to be very, very specific. So when I went from becoming, being a distributor for the nutritional companies to open my own company, I just wanted to generate a specific amount of money, but I really didn't pay attention to how my life was going to change or to be impacted. And that took me to working a lot of hours and not being intentional with the way that I was growing my company and my business. And here's the thing, it was just me with my own company. I was no longer following the goals that the other companies set up for me, like what happens when you are in direct sales, for example. Like, they tell you goals, you have to meet them by a certain day, and then you increase in rank, and then your life in that career becomes pretty much subject to fulfilling those goals that were set up by your company. Okay. Now, when I am on my own, I no longer have those benchmarks. I still need to put those benchmarks in, but here's the thing, I also needed to have more intentionality with the way that I was going to bring in that revenue. And that's why I'm mentioning to you what kind of skills you will need and what kind of business model do you want, to implement for your business. Now is the time to really have that vision. Some people are very, very good and clear in saying, listen, I just want to be a solopreneur. I don't want to be managing people. I don't want to be managing partnerships. I don't see myself traveling a lot. Well, that's good. So visualize yourself as a solopreneur. Some people say, I want to invest in a business and walk away. I just want to be traveling and receive money in passive income. Well, how does your life is going to look like if you are going out there trying to build that passive income? You better get really good at relationships. You better get good at contributing in the networking events and meeting new people. So that's the kind of life that you're going to have in order to get closer to that vision of you living in passive income. Be specific. What's the industry? What are the opportunities that you will explore? Did you see why it's very, very important that you just listen to what I'm saying? So you can get the ideas today, and then when you come tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, you come with a very clear keywords so you get to find the images for your vision board. So that's on finances, productivity. So, new job. That's typically what people say. Do not do that. Instead of a new job, really, really visualize yourself becoming that successful professional in your career with as many details as possible, right? So here will be, career with details, skills needed, partnerships, resources, traveling, assets. Do you need a new car? Well, how does that look like? Do you need to move to a new home? How does that look like? Are you going to sell something? How does that look like? Be very, very specific, okay? Now, contribution giving leadership causes, this is easy. This is essentially the area of our lives that have to do with us paying forward. If you have participated in opportunities where you have being given, you then realize how great you feel when you give time, when you give money, when you contribute, and you can see the direct impact from your contribution. Therefore, I want you to pick an organization here. I want you to pick the specific activities that you're going to be doing in your vision. And again, think about not just what's going to happen for 2020, but big picture as well. If your goal is to impact 1 million lives and help X amount of causes and building and fundraising and all of that, really, really put here your goal with a lot of details, as many details as possible. Okay. Again, when it comes to doing this vision board, there are two components. You thinking about what do you really want, and you will realize that when you do that, you start doing it and you start processing your thoughts, and more thoughts are going to come. And then you coming here and inserting the images. What else can you use to create your vision board? So other tools that I can mention to you. So let me just come here and insert. So when it comes to your cell phone, I have an app. It's called Pic Collage. That's a good one. PicMonkey is another one that you can use in the computer. Canva is another one that you can use in the computer. Honestly, with these three and plus, of course, Google Slides, they're going to just help you to find the images and create the collage of those 4 quadrants. And then after that, I want you to put your vision board on a place where you can just, in a way that you can touch it, and then in a way that you can see it on a daily basis. Okay, so I want you to print it. Of course, print it wherever you want. Walgreens, Office Max, wherever you print it, and then you're going to frame it. And you're going to put it where you can just see it, the first thing that you see in the morning. Sometimes, behind your door or in the wall right next to your bed. I have done this vision board at the very beginning. I used to just have like a blank, canvas, and I would just stick images that I used to cut from magazines. I don't do that anymore. I really, really like to be intentional with my vision and not condition my vision to the images that I see, because that's kind of working with some suggestive content that I'd rather be more intentional and finding the images that are matching my real vision. Okay. Now, what is it that I am going to do this year differently? Okay. It's all about systems. And the main reason is because I truly, truly feel, let's see if I can just copy this. I truly feel that our entire life, okay, and the things that we do, I would say that in a 90% of the time, everything is just very, very predictable. And because of that, I am inclined to believe that the more, here. I'm inclined to believe that, that the more intentional I am with the things that I do, the more I can achieve in my automatic pilot, okay? And what I mean with this is the following. So let me just delete all of this so you can understand. Okay, so this year I want to add systems and trackers so that I can truly achieve the vision by tackling my goals as if I am handling projects, okay? So one example I'm gonna give you. Let's say that I want to lose 40 pounds, okay? So project, drop 40 pounds. Well, by when? By April 2020. Okay, perfect. So what are going to be the steps that I need to be taking in order to fulfill and achieve this goal? Well, I'm going to have to be at a certain weight by a certain month, right? And then I will be just tracking that. And I can also track the exercises that I'm going to be doing. And I can also maybe track the things that I can do outdoors. And in that way, those activities are going to take me to this goal of losing 40 pounds. So I'm going to be working on designing those trackers. And when I do that, I'm going to be sharing those with you, because I think it's very, very important that we get very specific with implementation, or else we're going to have a pretty vision board, but the implementation is not going to be pretty. And then we will always be kind of running against the current and trying to work on things when we remember them. But we should not be doing things and living life in that way. So what I'm planning on doing is defragmenting the goals in steps and benchmarks, and adding my due dates and adding alerts in my calendar. So in specific that day of the month, I can come and sit and talk to my vision board and then adjust where am I with this particular goal, and what do I need to accelerate in that goal, just to give you, one example. Same thing, will happen in other goals that you have. So that my goal here, is that you can have ways to track your progress, and you can track them in a way that you can also celebrate yourself. So yeah, I'm kind of working with those trackers and having more accountability. And I will be sharing those with you. If you are in our business program, which is Business Accelerator, then you know that we talk every other week. So we'll be talking more about this, and also that we have the VIP day, and of course we'll be doing this, and I'll be helping you to refine your vision board and refine the trackers, because this is our year. This is the beginning of a new decade. I know that plenty of you enjoy just resetting the time and being very, very intentional with your goals, okay? So we cover all that. We cover dreams, we cover vision, we cover trackers. And I will say that when you see the trackers, The trackers then are just kind of the resolutions, but having a plan to meet those resolutions that is tied up to your vision and to your big dreams is the way that you can live with intentionality. I'm going to be closing now, but in closing, I just want to also tell you that I want you to allow yourself to flow. And I want you to allow yourself to put a lot of intention into cleaning your spaces, your mind spaces, and your time and your calendar, because very often, instead of we needing to do more, what we need is truly to do less. And that's how we can live a better life. Read about minimalism, read about intentionalism and intentionality, because that's really going to help you becoming more aware. And then maybe the last thing I would say is define success. Very often we think about success and we have an idea, but my question to you is, who told you what success is? And what is your fundamental principle, or where did you get the definition of success? And you will realize very quickly you are already successful. What we truly want is just to grow, to become that person, better and better person on a daily basis. That's it. All right. So any comments, any questions, I'm here to help. If you haven't joined our Business Accelerator program, it's marketingforgreatness.com/business accelerator. And I truly invite you to consider joining for the whole year. This is a year program, and we are together. I coach you, I guide you, I give you every single resource you need to grow your company. And growth means that depending on where you are today is the resources that you will need. So we have tracks, and we have realized like what's the formula in order to grow your business. Okay, so consider joining us, because we have a lot of great opportunities this year. Read the testimonials, read what people have achieved, reach out to them. They'll be able to tell you even better than I can tell you about what do we do. Okay, so thank you so much. Bye for now. So stop the recording.